Hey,
Hey, live.
what's going on, everybody? We are live. Yes, welcome. Hey, guys. So we are here, R3, the real, raw, real, taking over Sean's live. Let's go.
Go.
Welcome. While we wait, we are here once again, R3 taking over Sean's live. First, if you would like to work with Sean, suitsandposing.com is where you need to go. She does hair, makeup, suits, posing, all the fun stuff that has to do with competition. So, you guys know exactly what to do. Let's go. Hey, Jamie.
Absolutely. What's up? Hey, Raven. What's up, y'all?
What's up? Oh my God, Raven, you're not laughing at us.
Right. The athlete search, we have a few more days, but the athlete suit sale just started. Things that Yolanda just said. Suits and posing is where you need to go. If y'all like Yolanda, Sunshine, Golden Sunshine, and my Malibu
Yes,
Pink,
my baby.
posing is where you need to go. So what are we doing tonight, girl?
Yes. So you guys know it. We have a special guest.
Yes. Joining us
Yes.
Oh, is that my cue?
It's your cue.
More than your cue. Welcome, Sean,
You
to your own pod.
I love it.
Yes.
Welcome to your own live.
I know, right?
I love
they
it.
hijacked my live feed.
Yes, but first of all, thank you for having us. Thank you for allowing us to do this. We're super excited.
You guys know I'm all about you like expanding and want to create your own thing, and it just makes the community grow at large. So I love it. I'm sitting here like getting all emotional. I'm like, oh my girls.
So speaking of your girls, ladies who are filtering in, we are taking over Sean's live tonight. But who are we? I'm Brandy. This is Yolanda. And Stephanie, she may be joining us. Hopefully she'll join. I've been athletes with Sean for a couple of years. I've been an athlete with Sean since. Have you been with Sean?
Did you say when have I been with? Oh, sorry. I'm the newbie, you guys. I'm the newbie. So I've been with Sean 2 years, but sponsored by her last year for the first time. And the journey has been amazing. And you know it. Yes, I filled out my application. There was no time to waste there. And I hope nobody else wasted any time, because it's.
Yes, the clock is ticking.
Yes.
Yeah, they got till tomorrow to get those applications in. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then the next thing you know, get it done.
Yep. Well, the good thing is
Stephanie said,
Brandy, you never have to apply again.
Ooh. I was questioning. I was on an application just to follow the protocol, and I wasn't sure because I was like, I went through stuff and all of the things, and I was like, I wasn't sure. I was gonna put in a last minute application.
Yeah. No, as a pro performer, when you win the pro performer promise, which Brandy won the pro performer promise this year, as a pro performer, you are in for life. You are the only ones that don't have to reapply. So if you've been sponsored in the past and you want to get sponsored again next year, like Yolanda, then you do have to reapply. Brandy does not. She's stuck with me forever.
Hey, I love it. Listen, you stuck with me too.
I know, right? I was like, I don't think regardless, I wanted to.
Regardless, I don't know who you're getting rid of by this community.
I love it.
All right. Not any ladies.
So we're trying to get stuff in.
Yeah, go ahead and start, Yolanda, and I'll get.
All right. So we just want to touch back because we wanted to, touch a little on CCTS. And we were just wondering all the feels that you got this year, in terms of the energy and how it was different. Like, can you explain that to us a little bit? What was so different about the energy and what made it so different from the past years?
Yeah. So it was, and I thought about this for a little bit, because people said it a lot to me throughout the weekend. They're like, the energy is just different here. The vibe is just different this year. It's just so positive. It's uplifting. It's motivating. Everybody's like, it was. And even I, myself, I had more fun. I don't know why. Like, I was like, I'm just enjoying myself. Right. And I realized, I think one of the big reasons is every single speaker was female. I think that was a big
Mm.
reason. We have had males in the past. Nothing against the men. I mean, there's nothing against that. But every single featured speaker this year was a female. And we didn't have like a superstar this year, if that makes sense, right? Like, we
Mm.
brought Olympians in the past. We brought in people that were big time, famous, that kind of thing in our industry and in our niche. There was nobody like that this year. So it was like everybody was on the same playing field. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it was like, I don't know, like there was no intimidation factor. We brought in people that are really high up in our industry before, thinking that would be a good thing, and it was actually not. This was years past, we brought in some big people in our industry, and it was actually very intimidating, especially for newer competitors. So this year we didn't have any of that. We had everybody that was really focused on the community aspect of the entire weekend. And I think that really lent to better energy overall. You know what I mean? Like, I just, as I sat and I thought about it, I'm like, I think that's really the reason why. There was nobody there that was like, I'm scared to go talk to that person. You know what I mean? There was nobody. Everybody was really like cool and like very approachable and very knowledgeable and very welcoming and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, like Raven just said, the Olympians that we brought in this year were amazing and approachable. That's the thing, like that.
Yeah.
That was something that I was talking to the girls about at dinner too, at the awards banquet. Whenever I'm looking at people to bring in, I'm not necessarily looking at their record. I'm not looking at their wins and their losses. I'm not looking at those things. I'm looking at what they bring to the sport as a whole, as a person, as a coach, as a whatever they're bringing into the actual sport itself. Which doesn't come down to wins and losses. It comes down to like what we're doing right here, what they give back to
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? So that's the hardest part about every year about finding speakers, because I want to find people that are going to be approachable, that are going to be those kinds of things. You know what I mean? So I think that was the reason why. And we just got Stephanie. There she is. Look at that.
Hey, welcome, girl.
Oh, look, now we're equal.
Learning all
Now
these
you
new
gotta
tricks.
introduce yourself, Steph.
Yeah, real
So-
quick.
But yeah, just to kind of wrap up that question, I mean, I think that's really what it was. And just, I don't know, there was so much positive energy all the way around, So yeah. It was cool. It was definitely different from years past. It was.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely felt that on my side of the screen.
Yep.
It was awesome. I feel like it was a lot of energy that I would have loved to have been around the whole time. It was amazing to watch it all unfold.
Yeah. We'll see. Next year you got to be there in person. Start saving now.
I'm planning. Listen. I'm already figuring out, okay, this show has to go here so that I can be here.
Right.
I have to stick to it. So I get it. Steph, girl, welcome.
Yes. Introduce
Can she hear
yourself
us?
to the
I wonder if she can hear us. Stephanie, can you hear us? Oh, we
She
can't
can
hear
hear us.
her.
We can't hear you.
Yeah. We'll see if you can fix your mic. Oh, we lost her.
That's all right. She'll be back, you guys.
That's okay. She'll be back. She's in and out.
Hold on. Jamie wrote, it was insane. We're gonna do it next year. Wait. It was
We're
insane.
gonna do it next year when you get there, I think is what she was trying to say. Top it.
Yeah.
We're gonna top it next year. That's just that she had the typo.
Oh,
We're gonna top it
yes.
next year.
Which kind of
speaking
leads
of
into
top-
the next question.
Exactly.
Go ahead. You got it, Brandon. Go
Speaking
ahead.
of topping it, would you choose the cheetah theme. How did you come up with that? And do you plan to just go on out?
Do I plan to what? Say it again.
Go with the theme from here on out.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a theme every year now. Honestly, it wasn't something that was planned. What it was really is like when we go into looking for things we're going to do for every year. We look at swag, we look at warm ups, we look at bags, we look at things that we can up our game with every year when we give you guys your gifts. And I was looking at the warm ups, and I was like, when I was doing my own retail and I was printing, shirts and things like that. I was like, man, my logo looks really good on animal print, like with the gold and everything. I was like, it looks really good. I was like, maybe I should do more animal print. I was like, so I started looking for warm-ups for the actual event itself, and I found these, and I was like, okay, cool. So those are really cool. And then everything just kind of snowballed from there. We started building on that. Once we found the warm-ups, and everything else came on top of it. And it just ended up being a really cool theme. Like the other part of it that I really liked about it too is that we incorporated all of the gold and everything in there. Which made it very warm and very inviting. That was another aspect of it that I really liked from this past year. When I talked to the shop, Jim, the events production company that did it with us, I said I want everything to be very golden and very warm and very inviting, so people feel like they can just be, in a warm, safe space. And the lighting and everything that we did for the production was very much that. It was bright, but it wasn't too bright, and it was just that warm, comfortable feeling of, everybody in one room, and we're, while it's a presentation, we're a part of this kind of thing. I don't know. Did you feel that being there? Did it feel like it was a little bit more like warm and inviting kind of thing?
Yes. There's Steph.
She's back.
Can
you guys hear me?
Yep, can hear you now. Yay! We got it.
We were cheetah print. One of the thing, and we're going to go back and introduce Beth in just a second. I really liked about this theme in particular is that everybody, one, we knew, and two, everybody bought into it. So it wasn't just the warm-ups, and it wasn't just posing suit. Like every day, somebody had a scarf on, they had like a lanyard, their back, they had some kind of leopard print on every day. And even now, like I told you before, I still touch now. Like I can't unsee, and I almost want to buy more leopard print stuff, but I'm like, girl, just chill.
Well, like literally, I wear this a lot. Like my warm up, I wear this a lot with my big cheetah bag from Cutie. So everywhere I go, I'm like decked out. People comment all the time because I have a ton of cheetah print. I'm like, I'm that girl that's like that gaudy cheetah everywhere. No, I don't care. It sparks conversation. See, it sparks a conversation in the gym. Embrace it, right?
Indeed. I know. I think from my stance, I think a lot of girls. So I know me. I can speak for myself. I'm really interested to see how you're going to top it, like top notch.
And it's funny because people say that, but it's really something that we pride ourselves in. I see this a lot in our industry where, you'll see a promoter that has a show and the show is the same every single year, right? And I'm like, I'm not that person. Like, I'm willing to go out there and take risks. There's some promoters that do a fantastic job at that, and sometimes the risks pay off and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you end up losing money on it or whatever, but it is what it is. In order to be better, you got to take risks. So every year we do take risks and we do bump up our game every year, but that's kind of how I am with everything. I'm like, I don't want to stay stagnant. I want it to elevate every year. So, we every time we get out of one of these Cuties Conference stage, we sit back and like, okay, we did this great, we did this good, we did this crappy. What can we bump up and make better next year? We have to be really honest with ourselves. I mean, that's why we send out those surveys and everything at the end of the event to make sure that we get your input and what you liked and what you didn't. And then that way we can make it better next year, because sometimes we miss those things too. Like sometimes I get so wrapped up in actually hosting the event that I don't see what the problem is over here. You know what I mean? So we want to hear those things so that we don't have that issue next year. And there's certain things that I don't even pay attention to that I don't think are an issue. And then somebody else is like, oh, well, can you tweak this or change that? I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. We can do that. You know what I mean? So we do pride ourselves in making sure to have that student mentality and being like, listen, we know we're not we're the shit, but we're not the shit. You know.
I think y'all are shit for sure.
Yeah. So, we're willing to sit back and evaluate and really make the tough decisions you have to make sometimes in order to make things better.
Well, I'm cracking up over here because everyone is right. And like someone said, oh, Tanisha, she said her coworker asked her about what's with all the leopard.
I love it.
Yes.
Like, well, let me tell you.
Yeah, Rachel was like, yes, I want to wear cheetah all the time. And I get it. I'm like, uh-oh. I was rocking my cheetah too, you guys. I was.
I saw the stories. I saw them.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I came through.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we want to listen. Exactly. Steph, welcome officially. Yeah, just introduce yourself and how long you've been with Sean.
So my name's Stephanie. I actually met Sean in 2019 before I first ever hit the stage. And first year as bikini, I worked with her. And then I found out from one of the cuties, one fit dietitian, she said, "Oh, Sean puts on this event every year, and it's really good. It's very educational. You should check it out." And I was like, "Oh, I haven't heard anything about that." So then I shouldn't say stalk. Then I started very closely following online to see what it was all about. Then I bought my ticket and ended up being there. That year, I won a free sponsorship for a coach. And then the year after, I won my first sponsorship with Sean. And then last year, I also got my sponsorship renewed. So I've been with her since 2019.
Wow. Yes.
We told you should go to wellness.
Dawn is the gift
Yeah.
that you
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I was in Sean's basement and she had me doing posing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And she was like, "Have you ever played sports before?" And I was like, "No. Why?" She said, "You look like you played sports before. I think you'd do really good in this in bodybuilding." I was like, "Okay, that's good to know because I don't feel like it right now."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't believe when you told me you really hadn't done any of that stuff before. I couldn't believe it. You told me when you said that to me. I was like, I would have thought you've been playing this stuff your whole life. You know what I mean? So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Body.
now
That's right. Yep.
Body. All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty of the athlete search.
Yeah.
Literally, it's only a couple of days away, and I think every time around this year, I'm like, man, how you doing? How are you doing? How are you feeling?
It's overwhelming sometimes. I say this all the time. It's really hard because there are so many really good applications that come in, and it's really difficult for me. Like I honestly have to sit and I have to pray about it and make sure that I pick the right people because I want to sponsor everybody. But I tell people all the time, like, I can't sponsor everyone because if I did that, I wouldn't have a business and then you guys wouldn't have sponsorships because I would make no money. So, it's a big roundabout thing, right? So with all of that, like it's, when I start looking at the applications and things like that come in, the first thing that I do is I look at the answers that are written in. I don't look at names. I don't look at pictures. I don't look at videos. I don't look at none of that stuff. I look at the answers that are written in and I try to find the vibe. Now, if I feel like the vibe hits right, then I start looking at the other stuff. Then I start looking at, okay, let me see what their pictures look like, their videos look like. Let me go look and see what kind of message they project on social media and things like that. So it's a process. And I have to keep whittling people down. So, I'm at that point right now where I have to start Xing people off, and I hate doing that. Like I have to start like making it come down to the amount of people that I can physically handle. You know what I mean? So it is right now. I'm feeling really overwhelmed. Also because the Facebook group this year has been lit. Like I wasn't expecting to have as much interaction in there as we did. And we do, like people are interacting a lot and it's making it very, very difficult for me. So I'm like, y'all like are being too good at this right now. So yeah.
I can imagine. I feel like even myself looking in and interacting in the Facebook group, I've like seen so many changes in people from the time they started, like from the time they signed up. I mean, some people I knew prior, but from the time they signed up to now, I feel like people have already transitioned into a newer, better self. Is that the best way to say it? I wouldn't say better, but I've seen people unfold. I like that word better. I've seen people unfold in that group already because they've become comfortable with each other. They're learning things from each other. And I should say me too.
Yeah.
It's another energy. And I feel like that CCTS energy is somewhat shifted into that Facebook group with just building that community. So it's been exciting.
Yeah. And that's the coolest part about it. Like, that again, that's why I'm feeling overwhelmed with this whole situation, because I'm seeing women actually, open up in there just by realizing that they're not alone with like their struggles, things they think about, things that they question about. They're not alone in that. And through asking questions and through interacting with all of you guys are doing a great job in that group too, answering questions, things like that as well. And I see all that. I pay attention to all that. And they just start to, like you said, unfold and blossom inside the group just in the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? And I just think about that. I'm like, okay, if we can expand this over not just a couple of weeks, but a few months or a few years or something, just imagine how much more you could flourish. And it's kind of like you said, taking the energy that we had from the CCTS weekend and putting it through to this new venue that can then blossom from there. So who knows what'll be next? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Say it again.
Say that again, Brandy.
A cuties
retreat. Ooh. Oh.
Like I said, for those of you ladies that are coming to my house for Super Bowl Sunday, I mean, I've got a party this coming weekend, right? That's our next one.
Yes.
You're gonna have like 15 girls in this house drinking and eating and not watching football.
Turn up. I mean, I had a little bit of that experience in Vegas with Olivia, so I already know what's coming.
Right? You took the whole bus.
Oh my God. I was about to say, are you inviting Jerry?
No, Jerry's not invited to this one. I'm wondering if he's on this live feed anymore, because he's usually on our lives. So maybe
my God.
Here.
Well, if he's here, if he's not, I love you, Jared. Don't take my crust, but I can next time I'm just give him his own cheesecake.
Stay away from the cheesecake.
Yeah, he said sorry.
But so much love for Jared. All hugs.
He's here. I told you he's here. I wasn't even gonna say anything about that crust. That's him right there.
Oh man, I missed it.
That's
all right.
Funny. So speaking of the Facebook, what made you decide to do the Facebook group this year?
My husband. It was his idea.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reason why we decided to do that is because of the Facebook group that we had for Cuties Conquering the Stage this year. Because there was a lot of interaction in that group. So he's like, let's do one for the sponsored athlete search too. So we've never done that kind of group before. Like we've always had like on the page and everything like that, you can go in and you can't comment and stuff like that. It's like, well, let's get these girls actually interacting with each other. And again, it's a good thing and a bad thing for me, because it's a good thing because then I get to see you guys and a little bit more of your personality and stuff, especially those of you that are new to the brand. I get to know a little bit more about you, but then it makes my job harder. So it makes my job harder picking people to sponsor. But yes, it was Dan's idea. It was Dan's idea for the Facebook thing.
Mm-hmm. Only picking people out of the Facebook group. Are there any people that you know of that maybe they're not social media people? So there are people that have applied that are not active in the Facebook group, and that's okay. Yeah. It's not a requirement. That's just an additional thing that we put in there, and most everybody is being interactive in there. But there are girls that have applied that are not in there at all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which kind of leads me to another question, since you mentioned that, and this one is actually from Tasha. She was wondering if like she should like unlock her account and make it more public.
Yeah, I mean, in general, if you're looking for,
I had to end up doing that. Yeah, because I used to like tag Sean and stuff, but she couldn't post it because other people couldn't see it.
Right.
So yeah, I had to unlock my account and make it public.
Mhm.
In general, you got to remember that, this is all fun and everything like that, but it is a business. So the reason why I am bringing people on as sponsored athletes is because I want people that are going to spread the word of my brand. And you can't do that if you've got a private account, right? So, I've had girls that actually will create a separate account that's public, and then they'll keep their private account for their family and their things like that. Just so they have two separate accounts, which is fine. But yes, you do have to have it public so that you can actually promote the brand. What is the point of me having you as a sponsored athlete if you can't promote my brand, right? Just think about that in terms of like a company hiring an employee. If you can't go out and work and like you're just working from home and not doing anything or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't help me as an employer, right? So yes, it does need to be unlocked. It does need to be open. It does need to be public. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Nice.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
So the Facebook group has no bearing on the selection, is what you're.
Say it again. One more.
Say that again, Brandy.
The Facebook group has. Are we hearing that correctly?
Sorry, it keeps cutting out, so I just want to make sure I get the question correctly.
I think she's trying
sorry.
to say if you're not active in the Facebook group, it doesn't impact the outcome
Being
of whether you
selected.
get selected
No.
as an athlete or not.
No, it doesn't. Again, the Facebook group is helpful for me because it's helping me to get to know people in there, but it is not a requirement. So if you're not active in the Facebook group, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get a sponsorship, right? Now, when we're talking about other social media platforms, like being public on Instagram, things like that, that is part of it. You do have to be public on the main social media platforms. Mm-hmm. But no, the Facebook group is not necessary. It's good for me. And just so you guys know, when it comes to actually sending out the athlete agreements, that is going to be something that I'm going to be putting in there once you are actually signed on as an athlete. Okay. But it's not something right now that you have to deal with, that you have to. It's good, but you don't have to, right? It's not a requirement.
Okay. Hey, Amy, welcome. All right. So we were wondering if there's like anything at the moment that you're like most excited about when it comes to the athlete search this year.
Well, I'm excited about the potential of bringing on more people that are similar to you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen you guys, particularly the three of you, since we've got three of you on here, blossom over the last few years. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you came and approached me about wanting to come on live and starting your own podcast, things like that, I got really excited. I was like, because that's a way for you guys to grow your talents and grow in what you want to do, your purpose, all those kinds of things. So, just seeing people, because let's take you, for example, Yolanda, when you first started working with me, you were very reserved. You're like, you barely even wanted to pose for me. Like you were shy and everything. And I was like, just seeing you come out of your shell and seeing how much you have given back this year, going and being at shows, working booths, all that kind of stuff. Every weekend I'm hearing from somebody that you talked about the heated community at a show you were at, that kind of thing. Seeing that kind of thing come from somebody who was as shy as you were when I first started working with you is awesome. And those are the kinds of things that I like to see. That I've said this before, actually, when I was talking to Sheila Brown, because you connected me with her.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I wish I had, yeah. They were talking about the live that you guys did, or we were talking about the live that you guys did. And I was like, yeah, I wish I had 50 more of them. If I had 50 more of them, then I would be set, So like, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking forward to most, because I know that out of the group that I do pick, there will be some that really do blossom and flourish and become their own force within the industry themselves.
I love that. Mm-hmm. I'm laughing because, Sean, I think the fact that you said I'm shy, at least someone or was shy.
Yeah.
I don't think Brandy ever believed that. I don't think Steph ever believed that. I don't know who here on the live ever believed that. But I appreciate you saying that.
You're very quiet. You're very reserved. I can even remember like the first posing session, we had a hard time even setting up the camera, like stuff.
Oh my God.
It's like, but those are the things I remember, and I've just seen how much you've grown from that.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see all of that unfold as well.
Mhm.
Excuse me, in terms of exactly what you said, more athletes coming out and, blossoming in that
Yep.
same similar way.
Yep. I say it all the time. It's not about the masses for me. It's about the individual people,
Mhm.
and I know that I can't be all things to all people, but I know I can be something to someone, and that's where this kind of athlete search brings that out. We always find somebody that we can be something to,
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Tanisha said, I can't imagine Yolanda being shy. And Tanisha, I
Uh,
could say I've literally unfold,
mhm.
speaking for myself, inside of this world and through this journey. So
Yep.
yes. So happy everybody's here and doing the same.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. All
Okay.
right.
Randy.
You got the next one? Okay. With the sifting through all of the applications that you have to get, Dan, his idea was the Facebook group. Does he also election, or what is your decision making process?
Did you say, does he help with the selection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man.
No, for real though, he trusts me with that stuff, right? So, if I'm flip flopping between a couple of girls, I'll present the info to him and stuff and say, hey, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that? So he does give his input in that regard. But no, when it comes down to the actual decisions and who I actually sponsor, that's all me. So what was the other part of the question that you said? There was something else, another second part of that question.
What's your
Process.
process?
Yeah.
What's my process?
Yeah.
So yeah, my process, like I was saying before, like I start out with reading the responses, the questions that I ask inside that application. That's where I start. So that's where I start narrowing people down. So that gives me a list of 50 girls or whatever at that point that I like. And then from there, based on those answers, whoever I start at that point, then I go through and I start looking at their photos. I start looking at the videos that they submit. Now this year I'm able to see their interaction in the Facebook group, which also helps me get an idea for their personality and things like that too. And then I start looking at their interactions on social media. I'm not one that looks for somebody that has a lot of followers. That's not something I'm looking for, but I am looking for somebody that's going to represent the brand correctly. So, and that means a bunch of different things. That doesn't mean that you have to be like straight and narrow or anything like that. But I also don't want somebody that's going to go against our core values, right? So I pay attention to that kind of stuff when I'm looking at social media. And then from there, I usually have it narrowed down pretty well at that point to the group that I decided to choose for that year. And then at that point, if I'm trying to decide between a few people, I just go with my gut. I mean, like I said before, like I really do have to sit and pray about it sometimes, because I'll get it narrowed down where I have it between like the last couple of slots between 2 or 3 people. And I really have to just trust my gut at that point. And usually that works out. There's been times where like there was a couple of years where I picked people because they were influencer status on Instagram, and it wasn't the right move. So it didn't, just didn't do anything for my brand at all when I did it that way. So I've found that when I pick people because of what I feel inside and my gut and what my gut's telling me, then that's the correct decision. So that's my process.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, my favorite part is the fact that you don't even look at the names or anything beforehand. I didn't
literally,
expect
if you
that.
look at the forms and how they come in, it's a big spreadsheet, right? So the first part of the spreadsheet is all the names and Instagram handles and all that kind of stuff over here. Then you go all the way to the end and you got all the answers. So I start with the answers and then I work my way backwards. So
That's really cool.
Question.
Mhm.
Hold on, I just lost it too. It had to do with submissions. Based on who submits first, like let's say somebody does, do they still have the same opportunity as somebody who submitted like day 1, minute?
Oh yeah, everybody's got the same opportunity. Everybody's got the same opportunity. There've been several times where I picked like the very last person that's not put their information in, right? Because it just all of a sudden it smacked me in the face as the last person that sent their application in. And then there's people that have been there since the beginning, so when you submit your application doesn't really matter. It's more about what's in it.
Okay. So Jamie had a question, and it says, ballpark, how many submissions do you get a year? It must be insane.
So the funny part about this is, yes, I do get hundreds. But we have a lot more that sign up for it and don't complete the application, right?
Okay.
So yeah, I try to remind people, but I think what happens is a lot of people get intimidated. They get intimidated. They think that they're not worthy of a sponsorship. That they think they just don't want to shoot their shot. So we'll have maybe if we're lucky, we'll have half the people that actually joined actually send in an application, right? So that tells me a lot too. I mean, that just tells me that, people get excited about stuff, but they don't really follow through. So I pay attention to people who follow through, and also that's the other thing too. Like there's been several years where, a girl will apply for several years and she won't get chosen, right? She does the full application, submits everything, all that kind of stuff. But I still pay attention to that because maybe the first year she just wasn't ready. Second year, maybe she wasn't ready. Maybe third year, she wasn't even ready. But the fourth year, she's still submitting and still applying. And at that point, maybe I'm like, oh, wait, I actually want this girl now, So I pay attention to those girls that submitted in the past and maybe didn't get selected. Now it's time for you to get selected, right? So I tell people also, if you don't get selected, that it's not a no, but it's a not right now, right? It just isn't the right time right now. That doesn't mean that it can't be the right time for you next year, right? So just to keep working towards it.
Okay.
Think of it. There you go. Yep. Shoot your shot. Yep. Raven, if I remember correctly, I think Raven, you're one of those. I think you're one of those that have sent in several, and then several years, then you got chosen. So there's been several girls that have been like that.
Yeah. Now Raven's reminding everybody to finish their application.
Right.
Constantly, she's reminding everyone in the group.
Yep.
So you guys listen to Raven and just backs it all up right here. Shoot your shot.
That's right. Sometimes, like they say all the time, like you learn more from your failures than you do from your successes. Sometimes being told no kicks you in the ass, and you're like, okay, I'm going to push this harder next time.
Mm-hmm.
Actual.
Fact.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're trying not to repeat ourselves because you kind of slip in an answer there or here.
I know. I can talk forever, you guys.
And we're like, oh my God.
I do this like 3 nights a week. I can talk for hours. You guys know this.
No, we just keep trying to dig into, how you're feeling at this time and how you've been feeling. So it's like we were thinking about, is there anything that makes you like nervous about doing all of this?
Well, it's always a risk. Like I was saying before with Cuties Conquering the Stage, you're always taking a risk when you're bringing people into your circle, right? So, when you're bringing people into your business and you're giving them keys to your business, they have the opportunity to really screw you over if they want to, right? I thankfully have not had that be a problem, you know what I mean? But it's a very real thing. If I'm giving you an opportunity and you just say, screw you and just fuck it off, like that's a thing, you know what I mean? And it's what people don't understand is I'm not one of these big companies that can just spit out suits, left and right. I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like every suit that I do goes through my hands. So not only is it material costs, it's time costs, it's my brain, it's my love, it's my energy costs. And so those are the things that always I want to make the right decisions that people are going to handle that with care. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, that's, it's happened in the past. I think there's been one situation where I had to let somebody go out of their sponsorship and actually terminate their sponsorship. But it's a very real thing. Those are the things that make me nervous. I want to make sure that I pick the right people, that I don't have to make those tough decisions, So it's my energy, my time, my money, everything. Like, and what I put into you, if I'm putting it into you, I can't pour it into somebody else, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not only that cost that you have there, but it's the opportunity cost that you're taking from somebody else. Right?
Absolutely.
So those are the things that make me nervous. But at the same time, it's all a cost of doing business as well. And I understand that not everything is going to be 100% perfect all the time. And if you're expecting that, you're going to be very, very disappointed. So you have to go into it knowing that there's going to be disappointments along the way. There's going to be failures along the way. But you know, that my hope is that we have more successes than we do failures, you know?
Absolutely. And we're all here on this live to show.
Right.
No, I love it.
Represent exactly that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We're here in numbers.
Right. You know, when you came to me and said we want to do this podcast, I'm like, let's go. Come on, let's do it. You know, those are opportunity costs for me that are very well spent. You know, because it's being fed into everybody else. It's a seed for everybody else too. So it's rare that you find people that want to do stuff like this that you're doing. You know, so I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have an off-track question. Well, kind of off track, kind of on. What inspired you to start making suits?
I started making them for myself. So I talked about this a little bit when I was doing the suit training last night in the Facebook group. But I've been sewing since I was 6 years old. So I've known how to sew since I was a kid. So you guys wouldn't know this, but I grew up on a farm. My mom taught me all the domesticated stuff. So I know how to do all that stuff. So when I started competing, I was buying my suits from other people. And back then, there weren't really suit designers. It was like my first suit came from a lady that did ice skating costumes. You know what I mean? So like that's where they were coming from. So I was like, when I was getting those suits, I was like, you know, I can do this myself and make it to fit me better, you know? So that's what I started doing. Like, because I started ordering, you know, and the bikini came around and literally we were getting off the rack suits that you get at Target. That's what bikini was when it first started, you know? So I was like, they're unflattering, looked like I had a diaper on, that kind of thing. So I just started creating suits for myself that I felt like flattered me better. And it was my style and what I wanted to wear. And you know, I mentioned this in the live last night where back then my chest used to have the east and west titties. So I was making suits that would pull my breasts in that nobody else could figure out how to do that. I was the only one that knew how to do that for myself. So that's where it started. And then, you know, I would compete and girls would be like, where'd you get your suit? I'm like, oh, I made it. Oh, can you make one for me? Okay, sure. So that's how it started. That's how my whole business started. And I just started making suits randomly for girls that were local, and they were competing. And then it just kind of kept spiraling. It got to the point where I had to hire seamstresses because I couldn't do it all myself. I was working as a manager of a gym too. So, you know, I had a full-time job, you know, plus I was doing all this stuff on the side, and it got to the point where I had to pick one. So I went with my business at that point.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Well,
I love how that unfolded.
yeah. But we all know that Sean has so you make your own suits, you make them now for us, but how did you history in that, just the innate knowing of colors and what goes together and what goes with this innate for you? Is it something you had to learn over time? How did that happen?
A little of both. So when I was growing up, you know, you take all those aptitude tests in school, and every aptitude test that I took told me I should be an engineer. So meaning that I knew how to put things together, right? So that's, again, where designing suits came into play for me, because I just can see in my head how to put things together so that they fit. And that's where the designing concept came from. When I was younger, I was very much into art. So I was, you know, painting and all that kind of stuff. Drawing, all of that. So just that concept of colors and things like that, it was something that all of that's been something I was born with, really. But at the same time, you have to watch trends in the sport too. So you know, it's one thing to be gifted at something, to have a natural gift at something, but it's another thing to cultivate it and educate yourself and stay active and be watching what the trends are, be watching what the judges are rewarding, be watching what's being put on stage, what people like, what they don't. I am the biggest student of the sport. I go to every one of these free clinics that I can go to. I talk to the judges every time I get a chance. You know, I want to hear their opinions on things. If I have questions, like the questions you guys are asking me tonight, I'll take those questions and I'll go to the judges and ask them, you know, so that I know that I'm bringing to you as my clients the right information. You know, I don't get secondhand information. I go straight to the source. I've never been afraid to do that. I have always expressed my opinions. They don't agree with me half the time, but that's okay. They've been very open about wanting to hear opinions. I'm talking about judging in general. So the only way that you can really affect change is by putting your opinion out there and that kind of thing like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just get involved in the sport in every aspect I can. There's a reason why I became a judge. I did judge. I don't anymore. I did that on purpose though, because I wanted to see it from their vantage point. I wanted to have that experience. I wanted to know what it felt like to be at that judging table. I wanted to understand what they saw. And just doing that gives you such a huge, like, deeper understanding of why things happen the way that they do on stage, right? Sitting in that seat. So again, being a student of the sport, always knowing that you don't know anything, right? So knowing that there's always something you can learn. So always trying to learn. You know, the victory posing clinic that's coming up this weekend. I don't even know how many they've had, but I go to that every single year. You know, I go and I help every single year, but I also listen and learn to what they're teaching every single year too. You know, and I do that on purpose because, again, if I'm not staying active in that, then I'm not bringing you the right information. So that's where, long story short, that's where all of those concepts come into play when it comes to designing suits. So yes, some of it I was born with, some of it's just part of how my brain works, but it's also cultivating it as well.
We're definitely going to have, well, this is not actually our podcast yet. This is just us vibing through the athlete search and all the CCTS things. So we're totally going to, of course, reach out again because we want to get into childhood, Sean, into present day, Sean. Like, I know there's so much more of this story. Say that again.
Like, there's a lot of shit I could talk about myself right
Listen,
now.
and I'm here for all of it. So I want to dig in.
Our struggles make us stronger. That's it, right?
Absolutely. And you know, I feel like everyone here has a story. I think that was my post today. That was actually my post today. How everyone has a story and how it just makes us all stronger. So I want to hear it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, like we talked about with the Facebook group and stuff like that too, it just makes you feel like, oh, I'm not the only one that's had to deal with this. You know, I'm not the only one that's had to grow through this and go through this, you know? So, yep.
Yeah. So we want to bring it back around to athlete search. One of the main things everyone is trying to find out.
Yep.
Everyone's like, how many girls are getting picked this year?
So when it comes to the number of girls that I pick, I don't ever set a strict number because I go with my gut. You know, typically I'll go through and I'll renew quite a few of the girls that, you know, have been my athletes in the past, that kind of thing. And then I'll bring on some new people. And when I'm talking new people, I'm talking about people that are new sponsored athletes that I've worked with, but also people that are brand new to the brand. Every year, I take a chance on like one or two people that are brand new to the brand, that just found out about it through the athlete search, and that's it. Sometimes those work out fantastic. Sometimes they don't. They've never been like terrible, you know, they've never been bad, but I can say that 9 times out of 10, when I brought girls in that are brand new to the brand, they become like raging advocates for the brand, which is awesome. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see that, you know, something like this could open it up a new opportunity for just somebody that's new, you know? So, you know, it just depends. It could be anywhere from 5 girls to 25 girls. So we'll see. That's why I don't ever go into it promising a certain number, because I want to pick the right people. I don't want to pick people because I have to fill slots, right? I want to pick the right people. So
yeah, for it. Take your time.
I was brand new. She's brand new, and now she's been a part of this for, I don't know, 5-6 years, something like that, right?
Okay, social media star.
Time rating this social media star.
We love it.
Everybody's growing.
Okay. Well, so for the ladies that are on here, obviously, I hope you heard that there is opportunities no matter who you are. and how long you have been with Sean or haven't been with Sean at all. So
Yeah.
shoot your shot if you haven't yet.
That's right.
Repeat it.
That's right.
Repeat it and finish your application because I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep. Yeah. It's just that's the nature of people, you know. People start off real strong. It happens a lot with competitors in general where they'll start a prep, but they don't ever actually get to the stage. You know what I mean? Just not finishing. So shoot your shot and finish, you know. The worst thing I think somebody could do, and this is to all of you that are here on the live or may watch this later, is to start and not finish. Just finish, you know, finish. You may not get picked. That's okay. It's okay to get a no, right? So something else, a little backstory on me. I used to do door-to-door sales. So one of the principles that you learn in door-to-door sales is the law of averages, right? So you have to hear 9 no's before you can get a yes. So go get those no's out of the way. You know, you got to get no's. You've got to fail. You've got to get no's in order to get to your yes.
Right.
So I'm never afraid to get a no because I know that one no is leading me closer to my yes. So even if you get a no, at least you've got another no, right? Instead of a no answer.
Absolutely.
You know, I've never heard that, so I'm actually loving that right now.
Yeah.
Suddenly all my applications, get my nose out of it.
That's right.
Out of it right now.
That's right. Absolutely. Because around the corner, around one of these corners of a no is a yes somewhere. It's there. But you just got to find it.
That translates to the stage too, because I learned from you about with grace because we're probably going to lose more times than we win on stage. And I give that to everybody that I talk to. It's like, hey, you know, just go out there and people, you know what? Don't go out there looking for a win. Go out there looking for feedback and learn. I learned that from you. So, ladies, definitely stay involved here. You're going to learn.
Right. You know, a good example of that is Jennifer Dory. Like for those of you guys that don't know, she went from top 10 to top 5, the Olympia and stuff like that. She'd never won a show. She didn't win a show until she won Nashville Fit Show, which qualified her for the Olympia that year, which then she won the Arnold and then she won the Olympia. But up until she won the Nashville Fit Show, she had never won a pro show. She had qualified on points. So just understand that if a Miss Bikini Olympia has to hear that many no's before she got that win, right? So that's a good example of somebody that just got those no's out of the way, you know?
And that was a crazy yes around the corner.
I know, right?
I love it.
Yep.
Love it.
That's right.
All right. Okay, so we wanted to know if you were going to drop us any hints tonight.
No.
I didn't even get to finish the question.
There's one.
No.
That's one.
No.
No hints. I'm not even close, you guys.
Ladies, I tried. We tried.
There's still one more day for girls to get their applications in. So I'm literally not even close. Like I've started pulling ones that I like. You know, I started pulling ones that I like, but I have not even started narrowing it down.
When did you even start reading the applications?
When they started coming in, I go.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't wait till.
Because I was.
Yeah, if I wait till the
I
end,
looked
then
at the numbers today.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I said if I waited till the end, I would never get through them all. So.
Yeah. I looked at the numbers today, and I'm like 180 in the Facebook group alone, probably on top of whomever else sent in. I was like, okay.
Yep.
I don't know how you do it.
Yep. But again, that's why I start with reading those answers. The answers make the most impact on me more than anything else. You know, and again, I don't look for a specific answer. I look for a vibe. Like I can just feel it when I read something. If I think the person is going to be potentially a good fit or not. You know, so I'm not looking for them to say that they're looking for world peace or anything stupid like that. I'm just looking for real. I'm looking for, like you said, raw, whatever, all that stuff. You know, I want the real. I want the real raw. There we go. Real raw.
Sean, I say our name 2 different ways all the time. They're all
R3. I'm just calling you R3. That's it.
It's gonna be shortened to the real soon, and then they're gonna confuse us with the TV show.
Yep. So.
All right. So
see how it goes. But like I said, I'm like, no, I don't have anybody. I don't have anything I don't have anything narrowed down yet. So I'll start narrowing down
I
once we get to
mean,
the deadline tomorrow.
we figured we'll try, for the mask.
Yeah, right. I know, right? So,
Yeah. Any
so
last words you want to leave the ladies with though about the athlete search?
Well,
In
one
this
thing too, we did open up the sale today, so those are going pretty quickly actually. So the athlete search sale includes everything that you need for your show day presentation, your posing, your suits, all that stuff. So that's open. The link is in my bio on Instagram. It's in the Facebook group. It was emailed out, that kind of thing too. So you do have the opportunity. So if you are new to the brand, this is a really good way to get started with it. To get in there and get what you need for your competition season. That gets you a really good introduction to what we do. On top of that, too, we've had this question in the past. So, say you purchase a package from us and then you end up getting a sponsorship. Well, you can do one of two things. We will either refund you the package, or you can keep it. Then you have all of your presentation needs plus an extra suit when you get the sponsorship. So you're not out anything, basically. And then I'm looking to see if there's any other questions that come in over here, but I think everybody's just saying hi and all that kind of stuff. So
Brandy's been keeping up with it. She's so much better than me in that.
yeah, she's over there chatting in.
Yes,
I'm like, every time I look over, I'm like, wait, you're in the screen.
I have a question for you, Sean.
I haven't had a chance to like really look at the Facebook live, or Facebook feed, but there are people over there too because I'm
Oh, yay.
Oh, okay.
So it's over there too on the main page on Facebook. I've never done that before, so I didn't know how that was gonna work. But there's some comments over there too, just basically people saying hi and all of that as well.
Hey y'all.
But yeah, just some
one question for you, Sean.
Yeah.
So if you buy the package and you win a sponsorship, can you use the package for like the following year?
Oh
if
yeah.
you wanted to?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, our packages never expire. Our packages never expire. So once you purchase the package, you're good. Like I have girls that stock up. Like there's some girls that I have right now that have like 4 suits in the pipeline because they just bought the sales. So like these are really good sales. I just want to have them for when I need them. So yeah, they never expire. So that's why I say you guys know too. Like if you worked with me, I think it's a good idea to have at least 2 suits, have a backup suit, so you can use the package. Plus, you get discounted posing and you get all the free bonuses and stuff like that with the package too that you wouldn't get in your sponsorship. So it's still a good deal regardless. It just gives you an extra suit.
That was what I was actually going to chime in on and say, like, keep your package, lady.
Yeah.
Don't trade it in. Like, I totally bought mine the first, 2 years ago, my first suit, and I'm still using stuff from my package. So, I got my gear on.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're working on all sorts of new retail and stuff like that for this year too. New warm-ups, new all sorts of stuff too. So even if you've gotten like our warm-ups and stuff in the past, because our warm-ups have been pretty similar the last 2 years, but we've got new ones this year. So those will be coming out and debuting pretty quickly. So you'll see all that stuff too. So we are working on all of that. So that's one of the fun parts about having no shows like these few months is I can add retail, which I don't get a chance to do that during the regular season. So yeah, we do have that. So another question that came in was about the sale. If you pay in full, it's even more discounted. Yes. So there's a pay in full option, and there's a payment plan option as well. And yes, it is more deeply discounted if you pay in full. Correct. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, we have 2 suits, 3 in the pipeline. She's ready. Yep.
She has options.
It can never have enough, right? So, but yeah, I mean, the final thoughts going into the athlete search too. Any other questions on the sales stuff before I jump over that?
The CCTS, the thing we got at CCTS, is that or not?
Say it again.
The certificate that we got at
Yes.
Is that applicable?
No, you cannot combine offers. Nope, separate. Yep. So the ones that you guys got at the actual event, you can use those separately, but you can't combine offers. So, okay. But yeah, final thoughts on the athlete search. Shoot your shot. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get a no. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. And at least you feel like you put yourself out there. You feel like you tried. And that's the biggest thing around what I do when I choose athletes is I want to see people that try. I don't necessarily care about results. I care about effort, right? I care about the effort that's put in. So try. you know, and again, even if you don't get picked this year, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get picked next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just keep trying, keep shooting, you know, you've got to miss that rim on the basketball hoop thousands of times before you can dunk it, right?
Absolutely. And honestly, I don't think I could say it enough. Like, just being a part of the community itself is just a win in general. And just seeing everybody blossom in a different way from the time you guys started to now. We ain't even hit the stage yet. Shows did not start yet.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
people posting way more than they ever have before. And yes, I've been following you guys, so I know.
Mm-hmm.
I
Listen, that's
know.
the
And
whole
it's
reason
just
we
been
started
awesome.
this, man. There's nothing out there for women like this in our sport. There's not, you know, and so that's why we started this in the first place. You know, when I first started coming up in the sport, it was all men, and figure was the only thing that existed. Now we've got a ton of, you know, female divisions and stuff, but there was nothing. There was tons of bodybuilding forums, and all the guys were on them and all of that. I participated in those, but they were all men. I was the only girl in there. I was the only one. So it's not the same thing. It's absolutely not the same thing. So that's why we started the cutie community in the first place. You know, these women that are in this group, they will be there for you when you need them. You know, they will be there for you. You guys are perfect examples. You all met through this. You know, you all met through this community. So, and now look at you. Now look at you, right? But it's the truth. It's the truth. You know, that you end up meeting lifelong friends. You really do, and it's really cool for me. It's really, that's the part I sit back and I'm like, oh, I did a good job. Like, I'm so happy, like, because of that part. You know, I say it all the time. It's like, it's one thing to make a living. It's another thing to really enjoy how you make that living, right?
Mhm.
It's one thing to enjoy what you're putting back into the world as a positive thing. And that's what I feel like we have built here. So I'm very thankful for it myself.
We're thankful too.
Yeah.
All right. So before we wrap it up, pretty much, like we said, this is not our podcast yet, but this was a cool intro.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
you know,
Yep.
our vibe, I can say.
Yeah. And what I'll do too, I
our-
don't know if I did this when I set up the actual live or not, but I'll take your Instagram handle, the Real Raw Reel, and I'll put that into the description box on YouTube, so that when people watch the replay, they can go through and click through and follow you guys too.
Oh,
Thank you.
awesome. Thank you. So I don't even have to say anything else. Our Instagram is live. Yeah. Yeah, we try our best to keep you guys posted on what's going on. Like Sean mentioned, the victory in posing is coming up, and you know, whatever posing stuff that we can find right now, whatever shows, we have stuff going on over there. That we're trying
I
to keep you
noticed
guys.
that too. Like, so one of the things I noticed you guys have started doing is like just promoting all of the posing clinics that are going on throughout the country. So I think that's cool.
That was a big deal for me because when I first started, I couldn't find anything. So that was important. That was important. That was on the East Coast too.
Like, the only thing you can do is you can just search through Instagram to find those things. So
Yeah.
the fact that you guys are putting it all in one spot is a good thing.
Which is cool. And thank you for everyone that's been submitting as well. You know, Raven's been on it. Aaliyah, thank you. So if anyone finds anything, keep sending stuff to us and we'll repost them. Whatever you guys want to see. And anything you guys look forward to with our podcast, you know, shoot us a note. We probably have a list of things that we want to do already that's probably going to be exactly what you're asking for. But, you know, it's always good to let us know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about when it comes to anything, to be honest, because this is about to be the real, raw, real. And it won't just be about, you know, competing in itself, you know. Lifestyle.
You guys are gonna have to do the cheetah print too, because it's like raw. It's like a lion. That's all I think of is roar. I know that note.
It's happening.
I'm glad it helped, Aaliyah.
Oh,
all right, but thank you
so
everybody
much,
for tuning in.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you guys.
This has been fun. It's always fun vibing with you guys.
Yes. Thank you, ladies, for doing this too. Appreciate it. You know, like I said, I just need like 50 more of you. Like, can I just clone you guys? Can I do that? let's just clone the whole Keating community. Let's just clone the whole Keating community, and we're good to go. All right, guys.
Well, you're about to have some.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and end out the live stream. You ladies can hang on for just a second. When I actually hit the end stream, you'll still stay up. But thank you all for coming on. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And you'll have to give me feedback too if you all watched it a little bit on Facebook, because that's the first time I had it actually streaming on Facebook too. So let me know what you thought over there. And then get into that Facebook group for the athlete search. Get your applications in, purchase your packages, and let's get this season off right.
Wait, take a picture, somebody. Take a snapshot.
Oh, right. Hold on. I can do that.
Yay!
Do it right here. Ready? Smile. 1, 2, 3. Love it. Okay.
I don't know what I was looking at, but yeah.
I said love it, and I didn't even look at the photo. So whatever. It is what it is. I'm like, hold on. Let's just make sure it's cute. Hold on. Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. Cute.
Okay. Winning. Good night, y'all.
All right, guys. Good night.
Good night,
And
y'all.
SusanPosing.com. We do great. Keep Susan posting. Go, Atlanta. Go. You got it.
Wait, I'm not ready.
If you want to wear
it.
I'm not ready, Sean. Take over.
Where you gotta go?
Hold on. Wait. Do it. You got it.
Wait, I'm not ready. Go, Brandy.
If you want to wear posing is where you gotta go. Suits, posing, glam, all of the fun stuff when it comes to
Competing.
Don't miss the sale.
There you go. You got it. All right. Good night.